Today is October the 27th, 2014, and just 2 or 3 days ago I made a YouTube video, and I was going to use these Svetlana 6550 KT88s. Actually they call them 6550C, and this one flashed over. Well, it had been my experience that once you see a tube start sparkling and flashing over inside, you better get rid of it. It's not going to do you any good. It's not going to be a good thing, because if it really goes bad on you, it's going to take out screen resistors, just depending on how your amplifier is built, but it's not going to be a good thing. So let's bust this guy open and see if we can see where it sparkled and where it arced inside. I've done this once before, so this is the second one, and the other one was, I believe, a KT88 also. So the last one had the cathode. You can see burns on the cathode. Let's see what this one looks like. I'll fix it and then bust it. Okay, got it in a plastic bag. I'm gonna bust it and then I'll disassemble it with the video off. But that was easy, huh? Okay, I'll take it apart so it won't make the video so darn long. But here's what we have now. I'm gonna break all that glass off and cut it apart, and I'll lay all the parts out here and we'll examine them. Okay, right before I completely get it apart, see, here's our plate. Here's our suppressor grid, not suppressor grid, I'm sorry, our beam forming grid. That's what makes it a beam power tube. Is an EL34 has a grid like this, a little wire mesh grid as the third grid. But all of the beam power tubes, like 6L6, the 6550, they have this as its third grid that's actually connected internally to the cathode. Oh, look, right there, you can see it. Right there. See, something flashed over to the cathode again. Let me see if I can get this thing up here and really get a good picture of it. So you can see that big burn spot. That's not normal. Right there on the cathode. So something flashes over to the cathode. Now you can see it right there even. And there it is again on this side. The only thing I can imagine that flashes over is grid 1. But I'm going to stop it again and examine it closely, and I'll see if I can dig down into it a little bit more. Okay, I've got this thing, now that it's disassembled, I've got it under the microscope. Probably can't see much here, but you can see that I have it there. And you may, hopefully, it may be too bright, but I've got what appears to be the bad part of the cathode. Actually, we're not looking at that right now. Let me show you what it looks like on the screen. This, all that white stuff that looks like maybe ice, all this in here, these are the grids. But this right here is the good cathode, part of the cathode, but I think it's actually defective. Look at all of the holes in it. It looks like sponge. And what we end up seeing, let's see if I can do all this at once. I'll slide this thing sideways over to the bad part, and look here at the bad part of the cathode right there. It's much darker. That white, see, that's just metal right there. This is just metal. The white stuff, there it is right there. See, it's blank. That's where the and here's the this is where it's all flaked off, and this is where it's sort of good again. Well, to keep from making the video too long, see, this is all good cathode, but I don't think it's really good, because I think it's there we go, get it in focus. I think it's flaking off really, really bad, and I'm about come to the conclusion that, let's see, get this guy in the good light, that bad part of the cathode is actually where the oxide has just flaked off of the cathode, and it's falling down into the grid and shorting it. Because if you look around under the microscope, the edges of this cathode, you'll see that it's all bubbled up. So I've about come to the conclusion that this oxide coating on the cathode was very poorly done, and it's just falling off. And when you thump the tube, you knock more of it off, and as it falls down between the cathode and the control grid, it sparkles. I think that's it. I don't think there's an actual short in there at all. Not anything that blows the grids off or anything like that. See, you can see a piece missing there. Again, it takes some time in examining it to actually see what's going on. Yeah, you can actually see on the bottom edge of that cathode, it looks like it's kind of it's just not adhering to the cathode very well. I think that's what we see when we see them sparkling. Bad cathode construction. Okay, well, with all of that said, here we're back at the beginning. This tube probably would have continued to work a little bit, probably not very well, but I destroyed it anyway. I threw it away. Once I see them sparkling inside, I discard them. You're just asking for trouble, because if you do end up with some short that that stays, you're really asking for trouble. So I've about decided from examining this one that it's really not an arc between one electrode and the other, but the coating coming off of the cathode. That's my conclusion. Hope you enjoy.